Hello everybody, Shinjo here, welcome back to the channel, and another seasonal anime breakdown. This time I am going to be looking at the spring season of anime, and to be honest, it did kind of sneak up on me. I was just minding my own business, going to work 5 days a week, and then I realized the new season's starting pretty soon, so I probably should make a video about it. I don't know if all this stuff has been 100% confirmed, because I am recording this the week of St. Patrick's Day for what it's worth. But I would assume that everything's probably more or less revealed at this point. But anyway, let's get into it. So up first is ReZero Season 4, Slime Season 4, and Classroom of the Elite Season 4. I didn't realize all three of them were Season 4s. That's actually really interesting. But I mean, I'm not keeping up with any of them, mainly because I started ReZero, I didn't continue it. It seems like a lot now. Slime and Classroom of the Elite, I kind of just lost interest in both of them, so that's where we are. Now, Witch Hat Atelier, I have definitely heard a lot of people hyping this up, and while I'm at it, I'll add Wisteria Season 2 as well, because I already watched the first season, I'm gonna watch the second season. Witch Hat is done by Bug Films. For anybody that actually knows, that is the same studio that did Zom 100, so it's already looking good. But I heard a lot of people talking about this, so let's see entirely what the hype is about. Coco, a humble dressmaker's daughter, has always been fascinated by magic and the witches who cast it, despite the strict precautions they take to hide their methods from the public. However, when Coco takes advantage of a golden chance to spy on the skilled witch Keyfree, she realizes that her favorite picture book was a disguised magic book all along. In her excitement, she immediately starts testing out the various spells. When a spell causes a disaster in her home, Keyfree rescues her just in time and decides to train her, realizing that she is the first lead he has found that can help him track down the Brimmed Caps, a dangerous group of heretics who experiment with forbidden body-altering magic and spread magical artifacts among the commoners. But before Coco and Keyfree can confront the Brimmed Caps, she has got to improve her magic skills and learn to get along with Keyfree's other apprentices. Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, it's not entirely related, but I'm just curious. Okay, I really like Coco's design. I mean, I can see it on the poster, but I can see a better picture of it on here. That's right, Keyfree is Natsuki Hane, which is Tanjiro, which is Gakuto from Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. But I already talked to death enough about that. Let's move on. Like I said earlier, Yozakura Family Season 2. I enjoyed Season 1. There are definitely some issues that I have with it, and honestly, leading up to the new season of it, I may bring up it in Let's Talk Anime, maybe? I'm not sure. This is called I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class. Sounds like a little bit of a insult, but I don't know, maybe it isn't. Maihara Maki, struggled to connect with anyone during my high school years, finding it hard to make friends. Then a turning point arrived. A girl named Asanagi entered my life. Despite being clandestinely referred to as the second cutest girl in class by the boys, she chose to spend her Friday nights with me instead of her best friend Amami, who held the cutest girl in class title. Okay, that makes sense. In the comfort of my home, we delved into the realm of games, watched movies, immersed ourselves in manga, indulged in junk food, pizza, hamburgers, and guzzled cola, carefree and content. To the outside world, we might have seemed a bit messy, but to both Asanagi and me, it was a cherished hidden time together. That sounds cute. I'll add it on. Down here we have Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 5. They know what they're doing with that picture. I can say that right now. Ashiteru Game will Ora Setai. Yeah. I thought my Japanese was getting better, but I guess not. In 6th grade, childhood friends Yukiya Asagi and Miku Sakura created a game with the objective to embarrass the other person by taking turns saying, "I love you." Weird way to spend your 6th grade life, but okay. 4 years later, even as they're entering high school, the two are still trying to one-up the other and claim victory. However, as tender feelings begin to bloom in their hearts, the simple phrase has taken on a new meaning beyond the rules of their game. With the passing of each day, the urge to become more than childhood friends grows, but both Yukiya and Miku resist making the first move, hesitant about what is in store once the game finally ends. Yeah, I mean, it's just modern day Kaguya-sama, isn't it? I think it may be a very similar situation to Kaguya-sama, where the show itself doesn't necessarily interest me, but the side characters, like the Chika Fujiwaras and stuff like that, that was what made me want to continue Kaguya-sama Love is War. So if there's a character like that, it may change the game. Okay, now we have, I should probably get these names up. Mistress Kana is devilishly easy. I feel like I've heard about that show too. Kanan is a demon who descends upon the human world with one goal: to feast on the sweetest delicacy of all, young human souls. Disguised as a high schooler, she sets her sights on her first target, an unassuming boy named Yoji Kyugi. But just as she prepares to claim her meal, things take a very unexpected turn. Instead of devouring him, Kanan ends up forming a romantic contract with Yuji. For someone who's lived for millennia without experiencing love, navigating high school romance proves more terrifying than any hunt. Between awkward dates, hand-holding mishaps, and feelings she can't quite name, the once proud demon finds herself flustered at every turn. A supernatural rom-com about a love-struck demon and the boy who was supposed to be her prey. Sweet, chaotic, and full of firsts. Nah, I'm good. Because I'm realizing that with a show like You and I Are Polar Opposites from this season, that's a really good romance. This, not really grabbing me that much at the moment. I mean, there was a twist with the demon thing, but I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll enjoy it. Who knows? Now we have Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku? Meet Takuya Seo, an otaku who sits behind the popular gals in class, Ijichi and Amane. Since they're people from different castes, you wouldn't expect them to have much in common. But when their worlds collide over a borrowed eraser, Takuya slips up about his favorite anime, and Amane is rather quick to correct him. She says she's not a fan, but her familiarity with the series suggests otherwise. Could she be a fellow geek? Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm watching this just to see what the reference is, first of all. But second of all, the art really reminds me of, what's it called? See You Tomorrow at the Food Court from last year. It really reminds me of that. Now we have Rooster Fighter, which is funny because I've already watched this. As you can see, the neighborhood cock of the walk is more than just an ordinary rooster. He's humanity's greatest defender. His opponents may be 10 stories tall, but nothing is bigger than his stout heart and his fearsome battle cry, cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, all I can say from watching one episode so far, it's stupid. You really have to turn your mind off to really enjoy the show, but it is really neat. But again, that's only from one episode. It could change, but at the moment, I'm enjoying it. Now, this is the one that I've heard a lot of people talking about, Akane Banashi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I know it's something like that. Now we have, let me go down to see what it actually is called. Botan Kamina fully blossoms when drunk. Okay, this is a story about a 20-year-old first-year college student, Botan Kamina, there we go, and her life in a dorm, where she meets her seniors and forms friendships through drinking sessions. The anime features many real-life alcoholic drinks, Japanese sake, whiskey, wine, and also describes music, movies, and other cultural elements that can be enjoyed with alcohol. Each drink and pastime is closely tied to the character's personality and atmosphere, creating a special atmosphere. Okay, I will say that I'm not one to drink, but just for the fact that it's an adult cast, I will at least hear it out. But up next is Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star. I suppose it's like a reboot or something like that. In 1990X, the world was engulfed in a blaze of nuclear war. With the ocean drying up and Earth torn asunder, all life seems to be lost, but humans survive stubbornly. However, what dominated the post-apocalyptic world was sheer violence. The remaining humanity was split into two groups: those who kill and take whatever they can, and those who are exploited. When all hope seemed lost for the weak, a man in a ragged cloak appears. He is Kenshiro, the rightful successor of the Hokuto Shinken martial arts, with 7 stud-like scars in the shape of the Big Dipper. His journey to become a legendary savior begins. Okay, yeah, I knew some of the show itself, but yeah, I'm really interested, because if it is like a new retelling of it, it looks really good just from the poster itself. Alright, now we have Haibara-kun's no Tsukiyo Seishun new game. We all have embarrassing memories or deep regrets from high school, right? Maybe. Socially anxious college senior Natsuki Haibara sure does. When he thinks back on that time of his life, all he has are fleeting fantasies of a happy adolescence that could have been. Imagine his bewilderment and surprise then, when he explicitly finds himself 7 years in the past, 1 month before his first year of high school. Can Haibara avoid his previous mistakes, make his way to the top of the school social pyramid, and end up with the girl of his dreams? Or will he be forced to relive 3 years of solitude as the most hated guy in school? He'll need all the help he can get in order to succeed, from a workout regimen to online how-to guides, a childhood friend, and plenty of sheer willpower. Watch as Haibara takes a second shot at his teenage years. Okay. I actually thought it was going to be about college. I'm a little bit upset about that, but I'll at least watch it. Now we have Awajima Hyaike, and it's a good thing I looked it up because there is no English translated name. This omnibus adolescent drama is about a group of young girls who attend a girls-only musical school, recounting the formative years they shared, at times shifting between different characters' viewpoints and time. Awajima Musical School Training Camp, dubbed the Boarding House, is where young girls gather from all over Japan to perform on stage. Habata Wakana aspires to be a musical star. Housemaster Takahara Kinoue attends to carry on her best friend's wishes. Beautiful Okabe Emi is a scholarship student who is always at the center of attention. And Ibuki Katsurako, who became a teacher at the school, though originally from a family of actresses. The unique environment of the musical school is simultaneously a respite space for those aspiring girls, and also a harsh battleground that pits young students against each other. It is a place where perseverance can lead to blossoming talents, but also to a cruel reality at times. The clear depiction and psychological portrayal allow the subtle inner workings of each character to come through. Okay, I'm on board. That sounds neat enough. Yeah, sure. Plus, it actually helps that it's just an all-girls show where it's not all about romance for once. Now we have Aaron the Southpaw. The story follows Koichi Asakura, a designer for an ad agency who works hard but receives no recognition. After being dropped from a project, he visits a place from his past where he met Aaron Yagishima. Aaron, meanwhile, is recognized as a genius left-handed graffiti artist in New York, while enduring the struggles that come from her own path in life. That's vague enough that I'm interested. Plus, on my phone, it shows that it's an adult cast. And after watching all these high school shows, that's something that I would like to watch for once. Okay, this looks cute. The Food Diary of Miss Maid is what it translates to. What's a maid to do when she finds herself suddenly stuck in Japan for a year? Eat, of course. Follow maid in training Suzume Tachibana as she tries all sorts of Japanese food, from sweets like taiyaki and melon bread to savory snacks like takoyaki and onigiri. Be warned though, while Suzume sates her appetite through delicious treat after delicious treat, she just might end up wetting yours. You'll get hungry watching it. Oh, that's cute. I like that. That honestly... Okay, it has question mark episodes. Because I was going to say, that honestly sounds like a show that can only be like 15 minutes or so. But, who knows? It sounds interesting enough. And Suzuki Tachibana, that's going to be the biggest selling point. And it's Kana Ichinose. Yep. Lock it in. We're done here. Okay, now we have Tadaima Ojimari-samasu. I think I butchered that second part. So is this what it means to have roommates now? Office worker Rinko, 24, lives alone and is secretly an otaku. One day her apartment gets connected to the two neighboring rooms through a hole in the wall. In the room on the left is a fresh-faced yet mysterious guy who is overly sweet to Rinko. The room on the right is occupied by a guy with violent tendencies who is similarly mysterious. But wait, I think I know him. Rinko's only source of solitude, her apartment, has been turned upside down. Now every day is full of heart-pounding surprises. Rinko is 24. That's an adult. Works for me. It's a romance. We can't have everything that we want. It's better than nothing. Oh dang, hold on, there's more Rilakkuma? I haven't seen that in years. I mean, it's probably only gonna be like 5 minutes an episode or something like that. But yeah, I remember watching, what's it called? Rilakkuma and Kaori? I think that's what it was. Maybe I can find it while going on this page. Yeah, Rilakkuma and Kaori. Yeah. It looks interesting enough. Well, interesting in the context of just being a slice of life, no stake show. Alright, now let's go under the ONAs. And we are looking at Dandelion. Set within the send-off department of the Japanese Angel Federation, Dandelion follows angels Tetsuo Tamba and Misaki Kuragane as they scramble to track down earthbound spirits, souls unable to move on and find peace, and gently guide them to pass on. The angels find themselves struggling to meet their daily tasks. However, Tetsuo Tamba and his leader Misaki Kuragane, who make up the 21st Division's Dandelion clan, choose to take things at their own pace. Instead of rushing through cases, they take their time with each spirit, listening to their regrets and helping them resolve what's holding them back. One day, they encounter the earthbound spirit of an elderly man who is running at full speed, trying to desperately escape. I feel like they just repeated themselves. They brought up their whole name, I don't know, 7 episodes? Dang, that's not really a lot. Where is it? It's not on here. I'll have to find it later and add it. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Honestly, this isn't exactly the greatest comparison, but as far as like tracking down spirits, they're unable to move on, and they guide them to pass on. That reminds me of the context of like early Demon Slayer. Again, it's not the greatest comparison, but it's something. Also, for anybody that's a fan, I'd be remiss to mention Dorohedoro Season 2. But I didn't watch Season 1. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Cool. So, I'm definitely going to need to chop down some footage from this. But I'm honestly really enjoying how this season's going to look. I'm more curious about the Akane Banashi because I thought that was the one that people were hyping up, but maybe I'm wrong. But let me know what you're looking forward to from this season. And if you enjoyed, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Momentai!